Hi, I'm Nate DeGood. You probably have seen me up here before playing bass or back there doing sound and lighting, but actually I hope you haven't seen me back there because normally people only look when something goes wrong. Anyway, I'm here to talk about how the church or older generation has changed my life. The church has taught me things that have earned me the title of hippie, which I know many other youth in this church share the same title. The reason why is that we seem to be the only people that value peace, service, and openness to all. So Greg, I blame you. You drilled those crazy ideas into my head, and look what it's got me. Although to say I hate the nickname would be a lie. I like the music that hippies made. Another thing that the church has thrust upon me is a distrust of common beliefs. I've learned that if you really want to know about something, you have to form your beliefs yourself. Don't just take someone's word for it. Do some research and draw some conclusions. One of the reasons why I succeed in math is that I don't pay attention. Instead of being taught how to do something, I learn the general ideas or concept and then I figure out how to use those ideas. I use the same technique in religion. I listen to what a pastor says, and then I try to figure out how that fits in my life with my values and other beliefs. Now I promise to keep it short, and as my Sunday school teachers know, Jelly, who was coming up, will probably take a very long time. So just one last thing. The church has taught me that I am not always right. It has taught me that it is okay to be wrong, and there are some things that I will never know the answer to. I think this is very important, especially because students like me live in a world where the answer is either A, B, or C. It's never D. So look at what you made, a hippie who thinks for himself and is fine with being wrong.
Hope everyone's comfortable. We're going to be here for a while. I'm just kidding. Good morning, everyone. My name is Angelica Mora. You guys probably know me as Jelly. This week, the juniors were tasked with providing a sermon instead of usual seniors who were unable to speak this morning. The prompt I've chosen to speak about is how... Sorry. The prompt I've chosen to speak about is how I think this church has shaped me, so here it goes. Growing up in the Church of the Brethren, I've learned many, many values that have had a very profound impact on me. However, the one lesson I will hold with me and someday teach my own children is to be kind to your neighbors no matter what. We live in a world where it is somehow acceptable to be hateful. In this hateful place, this church and its people have been the loving place that is desperately needed. Personally, I found it quite difficult to always be kind to everyone. But if I've learned one thing in my time on this earth, is that everybody struggles. Hardships affect every race, religion, gender, etc., and it's our job as God's children to treat each and every one of our neighbors with kindness and respect. Last summer, our youth group took a trip to Cincinnati Church of the Brethren to collaborate on a service project. We were sent to a local rehabilitation center where the women in recovery were actually allowed to keep their children with them during their journey. Behind their row of houses, there sat a small, decidedly boring, sorry excuse for a playground. We were tasked with making this playground into a vivacious place where the families could be reminded of all the beautiful things this world has to offer. And we did just that. Our greatest accomplishment was the new fence we built, complete with beautiful paintings of flowers and butterflies. After we were finished, I had a sense of pride and accomplishment for my part. Fast forward to about a couple weeks ago, we had just finished Sunday school and Pastor Greg came in holding an envelope. He set it down and told us they were thank you letters from the women at the rehabilitation center. I opened the envelope and there were at least 20 to 30 cards thanking us for our service. But I don't think that it was just for our service. My point is that these women were so thankful for our show of kindness, not just our service, but actual kindness for these women who society has shamed and made them feel like they don't deserve something so simple as a playground. This touched me so deeply because this congregation has taught me that kindness is a natural duty and that should be fulfilled in all aspects of our lives. I am blessed to have grown up in this church, and these lessons that I learned, I will one day pass on to my own children. I will forever live in peace, in service of others, and open to all. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Olivia Hershey, but most of you already knew that because I've been coming here for a long time. For this speech, sermon, whatever you want to call it, I chose to answer the question, like Jelly, how has my church shaped me? Now, I could list 90 pages on this subject, but I chose the one that I thought was the most important. Me and Nate had a similar idea that we both got called hippies, but to be fair, I wrote my speech first. As long as I can remember, I've been either called a hippie or anti-patriotic in history class because I don't hate people. People in this world are so focused on getting themselves ahead, even if it means using discrimination and hate to push others behind. I've never understood racism or bigotry. I've never understood hate crimes or violence or how people can support the taking of another person's life, because I believe that every person has a place on this planet and a good heart in their chest. Because we're trying to follow Jesus' way, I've grown up hearing the mantra, peace, service, and openness to all, and that's how this congregation has shaped me. Because of this congregation, I understand peace, openness, kindness, honesty, friendship, the fact that every person has a place, every woman has a purpose, every man has a soul. And I believe that I got this way because I attended this church. A church that accepts people, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, mixed, gay, straight, bisexual, trans, tall, short, young, old, man, woman, and I'm running out of adjectives, but you all get the point. I've grown up in a church that accepts people for the fact that they're people that are capable of loving and not for any other reason besides that. I can't recall a time in this church where everyone who comes in the door, anyone has been pushed aside or looked over. This is a building where every person who walks in the door gets a, hello, how are you this morning? Or a, how has your week been? And that's why I love it here. I know I'm only 16, and in society I'm a bit of an oddball, but I fit like a puzzle piece in this congregation, and that's all I need. Margaret Mead said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful individuals can change the world, so call me a hippie. I like peace signs anyway.